Now that we've got that out of our systems, everybody, now that you're all sexually aroused, because I know that gets, I mean, I know what I'll be beating off to you later, let me tell you what. The sperm race is still my favourite bit. I love that. And they're off! Alright, everybody, so. You've been subjected to that. Now it's time to subject you to totally real court time. Family-friendly murder. We're in the courts. It's the last day. What do you think, Mr. Wright, of that Sonic Guard crew joke? It was disgusting, Emma. Scientifically speaking, I really liked it. I think the prosecution is as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in 2 different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at each of the crime scenes. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. Hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning, you scarf-wearing fucking maniac. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. You should hear about this time me and my family went to Emma Cheer's office. So how'd it go? Well, everyone died and we didn't get partnership. It's as Mr. Wright suspects, the police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you. Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye. We found trace evidence of a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belonged to Officer Jake Marshall. What kind of trace evidence? Semen. Unmistakably his semen. They had cowboy hats and lassos. Blood-stained fingerprints too, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're gonna accuse Mr. Marshall? We're gonna have to play the cards we're dealt. Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. I will. It's my job. Kinda what I do for a living. Bloodstained fingers and semen. Yeah. How's that for fucking trace evidence? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come on you? Bonk! Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. Defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is, I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach the police department from the prosecutor's office. Yet the victim, Bruce Gooden, was slain in both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible. What's more, the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yeah, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is a fucked up fucking piece of trial. One of my duties as a prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today I will present evidence relating to the murder of the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. And that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things. I'd like him on top of me, with his big British dick. Did I say that out loud? He doesn't even know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be admirable. Bonk! Very well, let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day. Stand. Bonk. On its worst witness, and also first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer? That one. Oh boy. Things are getting wild from the fucking get-go. Things are getting fucking wild from the get- Oh, this fucking guy. Will the witness please state his name and occupation?
Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is well, that would be murderer, sir.
Well, time to hit the dusty trail. Let's So you're telling us you're a professional killer?
Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, so you can't sir.
Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is...
Sir, I'm out of what you call lucky generation, sir.
Mr. Edgeworth, help. Please help. I can't bonk louder than his megaphone. Officer Meekins.
Yes, sir.
Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order.
Yes, sir. As you wish. After all, I'm part of a generation that must be told what to do, sir.
You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. Well, science. Okay, I'm not gonna do his voice because it's actually hurting my soul, so... Although it's not my normal duty, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life, and then I did it. Cranial intercourse. Then I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see, then you fainted and a colleague helped to regain consciousness. Yes, sir, he knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well, the defense begin its cross-examination. No worries, GK, please. Go and earn those dollary dues. Dollary dues is good to have. Go stab a bitch. Best family motto. Not my normal duty. I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. Why were you assigned to guard the evidence room? Where was Jake Marshall? You work in General Affairs Department, do you not?
Yes, sir.
Nope.
I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir.
Now that's a scary thought. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed.
I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir.
The Blue Badger!
Yes, sir. The lovely paint mascot is created by the executive. Anyway, so we ensure the trust is broken during the transfer process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir.
Look, Jesus. Hey, Skull, what's up? I'm pretty dry. This is not good. Right. I see. Sounds like a very important mission.
After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room.
Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? Spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. Oh! In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct?
Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck.
So then, your ID number should be listed on here, right?
Meekins. There it is!
Could you please read us the number?
Yes, sir. It's 4989596.
But the number 4989596 is shown being used 2 times. Please explain, witness.
It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room, and the second time is when I went to go get him.
I see, so it was during that second time when...
Yes, sir, that was when I was finding the man in the scary scrape.
Okay, so the only person's ID we're missing is... Put the fucking microphone and megaphone down! The only person we're missing is 777777777. That's the only cunt we're missing. 7777777. At 4:20 p.m. He was just going in there to blaze. No problem. No big deal. Hold it! You were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you?
It was a knife, sir, a knife!
Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then?
Well, with me charging in on him that day, he was just as surprised as I was.
You weren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into with his fucking megaphone and his saluting.
That's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus. It's very impressive. I learned it in combat training. Confusion! Confusion! That's how I got this gash on my hand.
Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't have got cut up.
When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar.
Fought for my life. What exactly do you mean when you say you did it?
I skull-fucked him real good. Cranial intercourse.
Halt! Police!
I don't really know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films. The man let his guard down for just an instant, so I snatched his knife from him.
You took his knife. I spun him right round, baby, right round. Performed a disarming maneuver, right round, round, round.
Made sure to close my eyes like a man.
I see.
The next thing I knew, his white cloak was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then the next thing I knew, yes, he punched me right in my face, sir. After that, I passed out.
Hold it! About what time did you regain consciousness? Of course you don't know. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30.
He hit me right in the head, too. Look, I'm crying tears of pain.
That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered.
When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir.
Your mission?
Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned her to the entrance before things got out of hand.
Well, we can all rest easy. Bonk! I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor, only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins?
With regard to that, sir, take a look at this. It was sent to my jail cell. Chief Ged delivered it to me this morning, sir.
The chief delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Get with the times, man. No one uses videotapes anymore. We're all about the Blu-ray. You should see my Blu-ray collection. It's very impressive. I've got all of Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad. I'm really into Game of Thrones right now.
Yes, sir, that's absolutely right, sir. A videotape. It contains footage from the security camera evidence in your...
What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape. and I was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake!
I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm good at. I'm not fat, it's glandular.
Communication with bonk! Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim.
Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me.
I really like Joffrey. I hear he's lovely. He seems like such a good boy. Misunderstood, but a good boy. You're dead to me. You freak. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. Damn, I could go for a burger. Also, how can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us?
Off, cunts!
Joshy Fire, how you doing, mate? Welcome in. Also, yeah, that was a pretty slick little 3D video. I mean, it was pretty cool. I'm curious as to how that looked on the original DS. Like, did it look that good? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood?
Sir, that is the pride and joy of the entire criminal defense department, sir. It's the Blue Badger, sir.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Yes, well, anyway, this tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins?
Yes, sir. As you wish, sir.
Brilliant. Okay.
His face can be slurred in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker, which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked that. Brag.
What's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have had to have been Detective Goodman. Very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. Okay. 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 Were you able to get a good look at him at the time? If you must label people, fuck his voice. If you must label people as having seen or not seen the man's face, I believe I would be classified as the latter. So you didn't get a good look at him. More to the point, you're the person who fought him, aren't you? Didn't get a clear look at his face. I'm not the kind of guy who looks directly at people when talking to them. True, you're dazing off into the distance. I'm sure it was him, I'd bet my badge on it. That's a badge that should have been taken a long time ago, Meekins. You don't know that for sure. You never actually saw his face. Suppose you might say that. Yeah, only you can verify whether or not you saw him. Meekins. Having been shown a questionable video at best, we're not in the best of moods. Now please be more certain when you testify.
Yes, sir.
You claim the man who brandished the knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you're positive it was him.
You opened the locker.
Yeah. You opened the locker, and that doesn't mean shit. There's no other way to open them. The only responder registered fingerprints. Now, what was the deal? Didn't Gumshoe say that he could get in? How do you know that information? I've heard rumors.
They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir.
For the record, the opened locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. Oh, so the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. Now, I'm sure Gumshoe said something like he had a backup way of getting in. If he lost his key card. Yeah, the man's face. We can't confirm that it was him.
Sir, if I may say something, sir.
Please do. After all, you're the one being examined. You are a witness.
Don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case. I mean, it was his hand that opened your fingerprint up. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir.
You do have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Is there? Yeah, there's a problem. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. The man may not have been Detective Goodman. And I'll prove it after I save. What? This video contains such a contradiction? Interesting, Your Honor. I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. Can I watch the video again? Okay. So the locker is shut. There's Goodman. You clearly see him open the locker, glove falls out. There's Meekins. Cloth isn't there. Attack happens, he's bleeding. Cloth is still not there. Meekins is down. Cloth shoved in locker. That's the problem I've got. Meekins is gone. Oh, it restarted. Point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He opened more than one locker was open. Bonk! Please show us the contradiction you speak of. Okay. You can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point at the right thing. Okay. Okay. So you fast forward. Jeez, they're cunts. I'm trying to look at his face. Now, the problem I have is the cloth in the door. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Yes, that certainly seems something unnatural about it. What does it mean? More than one locker was opened. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman. Yes, No, I'm right. More than one locker was opened. I can prove that more than one locker was opened. It was clearly... Play the video again, you cunt. Didn't do it how the game wanted me to do it. Thank you so much. Episode 5. Coin wallet strikes again. Alright. Bonk! Yeah. Okay. So, the point of me doing this... We're gonna find the contradiction that says the man isn't Goodman. I thought the fact that another locker had been opened would have been it, but okay. Now hang on, let's look at the timestamp. 17:14. Bruce Goodman. It does certainly look like it was him. That music is killing me. Okay, I'm just gonna turn the music off because it is actually driving me nuts. So I'm Okay, everybody, we need some serious, like... We need some, like... Some, like, spy music. Like Mission Impossible's kind of stuff. What we're doing here, I've got no answers. It could be anything. It could be anyone. It could be literally anything. I've got no idea. This is fucked. I've got no fucking clue. Not yet, Komodo. Give me a fucking minute. We'll fucking... Maybe soon, actually. But... Yep. I've just got some music playing right now because this music was genuinely hurting my fucking ears. I can't do it. So we just got some we just got something a bit nicer playing. Just things, but I'm not finding the things that I'm supposed to be finding. I have to be so specific. Okay, so what's the specific good. Alright, let's bring this shitty music back.
Take that!
Right there. Fuck me.
Sir, do you mean me, sir?
As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. When you grab a handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint if it's a match. The light turns on and the lock is released.
According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir.
If so, then something is seriously wrong with this picture. The light is already on. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. Just to make this music last a little bit longer. Safferland, how are you? Here, notice the light?
What's this? It's already lit!
It's lit as fuck, fam. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle.
Hey! Bong, bong, bong! Order! Order! What's the meaning of this?
It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered. And the locker is automatically locked.
Oh, I know, it must have broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert in this.
That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction.
Oh, well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Why wasn't the locker locked?
You see, it's quite simple, Your Honor. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Maybe something like jam the system sensor or something? Something jammed the sensor? There's something else that seems out of place in this video. There's got to be another bonk! Very well, let's inspect the video once more. Why wasn't the locker wasn't locked because of the rubber glove? The rubber glove was blocking the sensor. This is the continuation of the part I showed you earlier. Thank fuck the music stopped. Holy shit. I can't handle it, man. The music is actually driving me crazy. Do 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 do. Glove.
What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. My sir, it's been my experience that things that fall out of the lockers when doors are open. I often fall and roll great distances when I open my car door.
Edson, what's up? We can't be sure that item was completely inside the locker to begin with.
What do you mean?
The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door?
Inserted.
I'm glad that they've stopped playing the music. Thank fucking Christ. Jesus. Oh, damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Oh, this white thing wasn't inside the locker. Right back at you, Sonny. Right back at you. Watermelon, fuck yeah. It's going well, Cyclone. It's going well.
Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, it chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door.
Not only that, it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator.
Yes, an insulator, but the crime scene.
It might have been something that fits the thing.
Bonk! Very well, will the defense please provide the relevant information?
Glove. I found this near the locker, a thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was in the victim's locker. Like Clockwork Mono, yeah. Video seems to depict the victim opening the locker, but that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is this not so, Officer Meekins?
It would appear so, sir.
Bonk, bonk, bonk! Order! Are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Woodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility and nothing more. The victim in the video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. Officer Meekins, please testify about this.
Me? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh, you mean that, sir? Of course, sir.
Bonk! Very well, begin your testimony. Fuck me. Okay.
There's one other thing that proves
The detective was just... okay. One must use their ID card. When an ID card is used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used this card. An ID card record, I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. Yeah. The ID card used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime? Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Geek everything, how you doing?
You like the Meekins voice. I'm trying to keep it up, but it's difficult.
Several hundred cases should have been due for transferal. Why were there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases. Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Doesn't make much of a difference, because it's spiky. Yeah, I get it. There are only a few cases up for transferal there, and most of them will clear up by noon. Right, I see. Now let's move on to the cross-examination. Okay, mystery man. How are you, Luna? It's good to see you. You believe this to be rock solid, do you?
If my hand wasn't wrapped in bandages, I didn't even get the V for victory sign, sir. Meow.
Couldn't he just use his right hand for that? Let's hear about Fully. As we've seen, one might never know what to say until their last second. Hold it. Is that card hanging from your neck one of those ID cards?
Yes, sir. This card right next to my cuffs. I keep it here so I won't ever forget it.
Or if someone were to steal it from you, keeping it out in the open like that?
Maybe I shouldn't wear it around my neck. Maybe when I said 2 out of 3 times my neck gets stuck on my tie, the remaining time it's my ID card that gets stuck. Instead of the door closing, my ID card.
At any rate, each police officer has only one ID card. Both the police department and the prosecutor's office can attest to this. Please proceed with your testimony. Okay. Let it be noted that this is the record the witness referred to. Let me see. Yes, that would be it, Detective Goodman. What's the matter? According to this, Mr. Edgeworth, your name is on here. Yes, Your Honor. I'm a slippery bitch. How's that prosecutor again? Hey, maybe he's behind all of this. Fucking murderer. That guy's a prick. I really hate that guy. Oh my god, what an asshole. Is that man in blue, murderer? Is that really spiky hair? Bonk! It would seem the inquiry committee would want to speak with you all again today. I have nothing to be ashamed of regarding my actions or their consequences. For now, let us continue the cross-examination. Earlier, I believe you testified when you asked the man to show his ID card. He pulled a knife on you. Is nachos for breakfast healthy? Absolutely it isn't.
He didn't show me any ID card.
If he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife.
Maybe he just panicked.
The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. Okay. Well, his ID card was stolen. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins.
I'm not good at waiting, sir.
I had the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene.
That makes sense.
Not that one. The other crime scene. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card.
Lost item report. It's only half completed.
But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess, you believe this something to be his ID card, right? Can't say for sure, but there is a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card.
Bong! Order! Order! Now what does this mean? Who are you people?
Doesn't require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather the man who stole his ID card.
Bong! 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 Order! Does the prosecution have a response?
I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Fuck, you're sexy. I could just stare at you all day. Thanks. Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man in the evidence room Officer Meekins encountered was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at a single conclusion. If the victim in this video is a fake, then the murderer in the evidence room is also a fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is, well, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. Is something wrong? Right. Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't gonna end well. Well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove.
Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth.
Oh, yes, please. Yes, please, Sir Coffee. I have a mug in here. I will bring. Play this like a damn fiddle! The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video is a fake, which means the murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location. The underground parking lot. At the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is very compelling. A trustworthy witness observed the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Yeah, trustworthy witness.
Bong! The activity of the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered, and where did this person disappear to? For trust purposes, to examine only the Detective Goodman.
Mr. Wright, you have to do something or else Lana. I'm supposed to get myself out of this mess. Objection!
Objection!
Motherfucking objection! You can't. I object to this whole line of questioning. Goddamn son of a bitch, I object. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into the prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. Yes, thank you so much. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth! Yes, Your Honor. If this court were examined this further, other witnesses would be necessary if the prosecution prepared. I'm sorry, Your Honor, the prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We've not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean? Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh, whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Oh! Very well then, Mr. Wright. The person will have to testify. What is his or her name?
Take that!
Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? He's in charge of the evidence room. I feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Yeah, fucking oath, guys. 17th son coming in with the coffee. MVP. MV motherfucking P. We should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. Shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Bonk! Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Yes, the court will take a 30-minute recess, but we're not going to take that long. I'm going to take a super quick break, have a stretch, get that coffee. I will not be long while this court is in recess. Please do not disappear on me, my friends. I will leave you with some tunes, and I will be right fucking back. But we need some break time. We need some break time music. What do we got for break time music? That'll do. Don't go anywhere, my friends. We'll do some break time shout-outs. If you stream, stick your hand in the air, and if you don't, feel free to enjoy the tunes, get yourself a coffee, go to the bathroom, check out everyone who gets a shout-out. We'll be right back. Lemonade is such a fucking masterpiece, but I listened to First Temple way more. God damn. What a fucking album. Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for hanging out over the break. Thanks for being here. Hope you're doing well, feeling sexy, feeling saucy, feeling delicious. And I appreciate you hanging out, being a part of the show. Hope you're doing well. Okay, court is now in recess. Let's see what the fuck is going to happen. Bonk! February 24, 11:32 a.m. District Court, defendant lobby number 2. There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright?
Ah,
What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. Seems you figured everything out. I sure have. You're the one who knows everything. Emma. You always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright is trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what's up? You've got a lot of nerve, pal. Making a detective run all around while on duty. And to top it all off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, Detective. You better be, pal. Hey. I didn't see you in there, Chief Prosecutor Sky. That's okay. Have you brought what I asked? Oh! Oh! You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lana, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. You might do well to read them. I can't believe you, the Chief Prosecutor, were a witness in that case. This guy was a witness. The Joe Dark killings. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now I've brought you the stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma, but why? Why is your name in here? Oh, my name's in there? I don't know, unless... Lana, this SL9 incident, is that? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as... the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark... No! No, Lana! That's over with, no! Emma, wait! You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. About time to hit the dusty trail. I'm out of here, bye! Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be a coincidence. Knowing you, you might just be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial. Well, let me fucking read the files first, you cunt. Incident SL9. Perpetrator Joe Dark, serial murder, sentenced to death. Victims: Edward Jones, Jason Knight, Edith Kirby, Rachel Moss, Jeb Bates, Neil Marshall. Head prosecutor, Miles Edgeworth. Witnesses, Lana and Emma Sky. Head investigator, Bruce Goodman. The best detective the department never had. JLJ Game, thank you for the follow. How you doing? Good to see you. So much is happening, my friends. So much is happening. Oh, God. So much to unpack. February 24th, 12:14 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. Courtroom number 9. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everybody in the court, time to come alive. A little bit of Emma on the stand. Little bit of Lana holding her hand. Little bit of Phoenix with spiky hair. Little bit of Edgeworth who just don't care. Little bit of Judgy with his beard. Little bit of Marshall coming around these parts being weird. Bonk! The court will now reconvene for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. Emma didn't come back. Allow me to call the next witness to the stand. The officer in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day of the crime. Howdy. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Me, partner? Oh, well, I'm just a man, same as you, wandering the trails of civilization. Occasionally helping the elderly cross intersections when needed. Yes, we get it. Oh, you're a patrolman. As for my name, if you listen hard enough, you can hear the howling wind calling it out. To be exact, it's Jake Marshall, Your Honor. Now, Mr. Marshall, let me ask you something. You're in charge of guarding the evidence room on the day the crime took place. Is this correct? According to the papers, partner. What do you mean? A desperado soul is as boundless as the desert sands. No paper can sum it up. Bonk! Maybe it's best we just get on with this quickly. Please share with us the testimony of the day of the crime in plain English. All right, partner. My job was to keep the wary eye on that bone orchard. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. Besides, the room's protected by 2 security systems anyhow. If I remember right, I was at a street-side saloon the time I went down. I'm just an innocent traveling man. So if you're out of ammo, it's time I hit the trail. I didn't understand a word of that. I don't care for your attitude. I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Y'all gotta shave that with a knife. What do you mean by 2 security systems? I mean the security cameras and the ID card reader. I reckon even a cowpoke like you knows about those. The fingerprint activator locks on the evidence lockers? Lay off Judgy's beard, right? How fucking rude. Fingerprint activated locks. What kind of newfangled doohickeys are those? He's not being very fucking helpful. Bonk, bonk, bonk! Don't talk about my beard! Bonk, bonk! He's not that good with machines or with following orders. Everyone's got their weaknesses now, don't they, Mr. Prosecutor? No! This one seems like trouble. Okay, Mr. Wright. He's already hurt my feelings. He's all yours. Okay. What's the first shit he said?
Hold it!
Hold it, bitch. How exactly did you keep an eye on the evidence room? I just made sure nothing moved in the security camera monitor. That room was so still, even time dies in there. I was just a caretaker who interred on the recordings. You interred them? Videos of nothing ain't that useful. When the time would come, I'd erase the tape. And if nothing unusual is recorded, tapes are to be erased every 6 hours. Every time I'd erase a tape, it felt like I was erasing a part of my life. Guy's got a flair for the dramatic. You don't physically enter the evidence room. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day, but that ain't my style. But you made your rounds on the day of the crime, right? Ain't you heard a word I said, partner? I told you that ain't my style. I'm afraid I don't understand. No desperado, I know, lets rules get in their way. Rules? Who needs rules? No desperados I know join the fucking police force, yeah. Exactly. Officer Marshal on the day of the crime! Just between you and me and everybody in this room, I didn't even set foot in the evidence room that day. There was a rubber glove stuck in the victim's locker. Do you know anything about that? Sorry, partner. Can't say that I do. I ain't been in that crypt in weeks. How do you not get fired, Em? 2 security systems. Explain them. You've used the evidence room in the past, correct? Of course. Back in my day, the locker was a gold mine of evidence. And yet you don't know anything about the fingerprint locking mechanism. Sorry, partner, I ain't so good with them machines. Couldn't even tell you how a bark works. It's quite incredible. The sensors on the locker handles cannot be seen. It's well known that some detectives are unaware of their presence. Gumshoe said that. Y'all see Lenny? Lenny! Lenny! At any rate, it doesn't seem as relevant to the crime. You tell us what you were doing when the crime took place? If I remember right, I was at a street side saloon the time it went down. Marshall and Arthur are the same person. They are the same people. What were you doing in a place like that? I was eating spaghetti. Not even Angel's steak lunches can beat that Paula's Von Goldie sepia pasta. Do you mean to tell us you abandoned your police duties to eat some noodles? Not all desperados eat tacos, partner. That's not what I meant. I hope this at least taught you a lesson. This is usually where Edgeworth says, "Did you not want to raise this here?" Just an innocent traveling man. If you're out of ammo this time, I hit the trail. Out of ammo, Officer Marshall. That's right, partner. Or as you call it, evidence. If you plan to pin me to this crime, then you better draw. Otherwise, you're just wasting my time. My steel horse is carrying me back west into the sunset. One thing seems clear. Despite being responsible for guarding the evidence room, the witness doesn't appear to have seen anything. Texans don't take orders from anyone. Everyone knows that. The superiors don't fucking know that. My job was to keep a wary eye. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day. Martha. Well, it's probably about time I saved the game. Arthur. My name's Arthur. Hey GK, welcome back. And Foxy, how you doing? Welcome back.
Good to see you. How you doing there?
I don't really know, man. Like, doing good, Foxy. Doing good. I was at a street side saloon. How can we prove that, though? I can't prove it. He hasn't said much. I'm gonna take a stab. Good morning, Drifty. How you doing?
My job was to keep a wary eye on the Bone Orchard.
Ukulele, good morning. How you doing? Oh, shit on my cock. I totally forgot that I didn't show this on stream yet. Moogs. Welcome back, Moogs. How you doing?
How you doing there?
Check this out, everyone. I posted it on Instagram. If you're not following my Instagram, you may not have seen this, but check this out. Ukulele did that. How fucking nuts is that? How fucking nuts is that? I fucking love it. Oh. Fucking nuts, man. Like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh. It's so good. It's... It's amazing. I love it. I love it way too much. Who's it supposed to be? Your mum. Suck a dick. I'm just kidding. I love Moog's mum. Moog's mum's really sweet and really nice. Sorry. Okay. 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 You ever make a joke and then like immediately like you know that it's a joke and they know it's a joke but you still feel bad? Yeah. I don't know, man. He hasn't said anything that contradicts anything. They said I was supposed to make rounds 3 times a day. I guess. I guess I'll show him the handprint, the bloody handprint. Officer Marshall, doesn't it strike you as odd? That is, you being called in to testify like this? Ooh, it's looking dark. After all, you weren't in the security room at the time of the crime.
And yet you drag me down here. Explain yourself, partner.
It's quite simple. You left a very large trail behind at the scene. Or to be exact, a handprint. Void Matter, what's up? How are you?
Listen real good, partner. Like I said, I'm the caretaker of that crypt. I pay my respects, that is, I make my rounds about once a month. It's only natural my fingerprints would be in there.
Objection, bitch! I only wish it were, officer. But you see, your fingerprints were covered in blood. Bonk! Witness, what's the meaning of this? Your blood-stained fingerprints with the crime scene. The blood was wiped away. However, a luminol test clearly revealed this. Well, Officer Marshall?
Seems to me there ain't a person in this room with a head on his shoulders.
I take it you have an explanation, then, Officer Marshall? About the blood-stained fingerprints. Bonk! Very well, you may begin your testimony about your fingerprints found at the scene of the crime.
I'll tell you about my fingerprints. Sounds like McCree. It's high noon. Like I said, it's only natural for my fingerprints to be in that evidence room. One of them just happened to be at the same place as the bloodstained handprint. The murderer touched my locker where the fingerprint was by chance. The bloodstain and the fingerprint are already completely unrelated. But didn't you know the murderer was wearing gloves? See? I had nothing to do with it.
Bullshit. The witness's explanation appears valid, although there's room for doubt.
Life wouldn't be no fun without any doubt, partner.
The witness may now cross-examine the defense. May cross-examine the witness. Witness don't cross-examine the defense. That'd be weird. He's hiding something. This motherfucker's hiding some shit. Okay.
Like I said, it's only natural.
Why is it only natural? I have to rub vapor rub onto my knees, but you've got no muscle rub. You thought vapor rub would work? Now they'd just be cold and minty, right? You pay your respects once a month? That locker happens to be mine. What? What do you mean?
I mean what I said. That's the locker I used when I was a detective. The locker I still use. All that's in there now is a heap of broken dreams. It'd be very strange if my prints weren't all over that locker.
fingerprint was never removed from the thing. Okay.
One of them just happened to be at the same place.
Really? Wasn't mine? It's no mystery. Please explain!
My locker's covered with my fingerprints. Just so happened. The murderer touched my locker where the fingerprint was by chance.
The chances of that happening are 1,000,000 to 1.
On the contrary, one could argue just the opposite. The chances of that not happening are 1,000,000 to 1. Get one thing straight, partner. You ain't gonna get no reward from me with a mere fingerprint. You wanna know why? The blood stain and the fingerprint are completely unrelated.
Unrelated.
They're as different as night and day. Kinda like cereal and cereal. One's gotta do with breakfast, and the other one is food. I mean a type of murder.
He's right. Seemingly alike, they're totally different.
Didn't y'all know the murderer was wearing gloves?
Oh, I knew. How do you know?
I may be a loner, but I still do my job. I keep up on the reports.
There was a blood stain at the scene thought to be left by the murderer. It was found on Detective Gumshoe's locker. However, no fingerprints were detected on that handprint.
That would mean the murderer wearing gloves happened to place their hand on top of Officer Marshall's fingerprint.
That's the only logical conclusion. You starting to get the picture, partner?
The picture.
This seal of blood in the desert is just food for the buzzards. There's only one reality, and that's this. So long as my trail ain't in there, you can say otherwise.
Bonk! This isn't getting us anywhere, Mr. Wright. Please consider carefully where you're going with this cross-examination.
Too bad it wasn't me in that videotape, right, partner?
What do you mean by that?
You want to tie me into this crime, ain't that right? If so, that video's the only direct evidence you got.
That video is next to useless. It's full of blind spots. The camera's panning back and forth. The floor isn't shown. They could leave the room without being caught on tape. We don't have time for your speculations, Mr. Wright.
Well, Mr. Wright, if you could show us evidence in this video that indicates Officer Marshall was present.
I do actually have evidence.
Tread carefully, Mr. Wright.
Bonk!
I know exactly where it is.
I'll give you your evidence. It's right there.
Bringing our attention back to the security camera is a mistake I'm afraid you'll soon not forget, Officer Marshall.
The days are short in Texas, and so is our tempers. Could you, sum up what you have to say in 8 words or less?
Cloth out of your locker, you fucking cunt. Very well. You can clearly be seen in this video.
Exactly 8 words. Not bad, partner.
The key lies in a certain locker shown in the video. The one you have has clearly said is yours.
That locker with the white cloth sticking out. That was the witnesses.
Now then, let's rewind. Rewind a bit faster. Rewind a bit faster. Oh, the white cloth is gone! What is the meaning of this, Officer Marshal? When the crime took place, the white cloth wasn't there, then it suddenly appeared. There's only one explanation. Officer Marshal, you were in the evidence room at the time of the crime. What's more, you opened your locker when the camera was turned away. Bitch.
Hold your dang horses. Sorry, partner, but you got the wrong man. So what if my locker was open? That doesn't mean I'm the one who opened it. The murderer really needed to hide something, so he opened the locker and stuck it in. It ain't my fault he happened to choose mine. Why is everyone staring at me like I'm a wanted man?
He really doesn't know. Hate to rain on your parade, but you're the only person who can open that particular locker.
Oh, yeah. Well, I call you bluff. You say I opened that locker, now prove it.
Take that!
Fingerprint sensor.
Chinchin, what's up? This is really super scientific. Damn, Paula, big change. Feels better? Fuck yeah. We talked about this earlier today. The lockers can only be opened by the detectives they belong to.
What kind of crazy talk is this?
Gumshoe did mention it. Not a lot of people know. But it is what it is, innit? It fucking is what it is.
In any case, the locks aren't that obvious.
There are even some people on the force that don't know about the locks. So, Sheriff? Hang on.
Give us a second.
What do you have to say in 8 words or less?
Yeah, bitch. I only got one word, partner. No!
Bonk, bonk, bonk! Order, order, order! Witness, explain yourself.
If this is a joke, it's the worst joke I ever heard.
I assure you this is no joke, Officer Marshall. Please tell us what you were doing in the evidence room at the time of the crime.
Just chewing on my jerky, that's all.
Olay! Please answer the question. What's Olay? Officer Marshall, I believe we can figure out the rest from here. We can? Have a look at these floor plans.
Look at this graph!
There's no place for someone to hide in the evidence room. Yet Officer Meekins didn't see Officer Marshall. If that's so, then where was the witness? It seems Mr. Wright has an answer. The only possible conclusion... Bonk! Well then, let's hear it. Rawr. Where was Officer Marshall at the time of the crime?
Take that!
Officer Marshall was standing right here. That's where the victim, Detective Goodman, was standing. Correct, unless the man wasn't Detective Goodman. I believe the victim in the video is Officer Marshall. It was you dressed up like Detective Goodman.
Objection!
But that's preposterous. Officer Meekins witnessed the detective at the crime scene. Once he saw the man's face, he'd know for sure.
Objection!
May I point out that Officer Meekins did not know Detective Goodman. He also testified about the man's reaction when confronted.
When I entered the evidence room, I asked him to show his card, sir.
And how did the Detective Goodman respond?
He suddenly pulled a knife on me.
Something about the officer's story puzzled me. If the man had his ID card, why didn't he just show it? Yes, he would have needed it to enter the evidence room, so he must have been carrying it. The answer is simple. He couldn't show it. As you can see, Detective Goodman's picture is on this ID card. Oh, I get it! If he showed that, his cover would have been blown. Officer Meekins would have realized the man wasn't Detective Goodman. Do you have anything to say to this, Officer Marshall?
You got quite an imagination there, partner. We got a word for that. It's called circumstantial evidence.
Circumstantial?
You're gonna have to do better than that to break a detective. Unless you got hard evidence proving I was dressed up as a victim.
Can't say I particularly care for your uncooperative disposition.
I can't say I care for your beard, but you don't see me complaining. Except for the 2 times I complained about your beard.
Well, Mr. Wright, do you have any evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt? Beyond reasonable doubt, Your Honor. Is Officer Marshall dressed up as the thing? I do, Your Honor, but I will show it after I save a whole bunch. Well? Again with the beard, leave me alone! Bonk, bonk, bonk!
I can see the fear in your eyes, partner. Seems you're the one who couldn't take the desert heat.
Looks like your lack of experience has finally been exposed. I'll pass on to you what someone told me when I was just starting out. When you've run into a wall with no place to go, return to the basics. The Basics. I love that band. Bam, 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 bam. I am an ordinary boy. I tell an ordinary story of a life I thought was once unique, but now I know I'm wrong. The wheels are falling. No, Basics. Don't worry about it. Phoenix, try thinking outside the box. I shouldn't look for proof that Officer Marshall was in disguise. But rather, I should look for evidence that came about because he was in disguise. Why do you think his locker was opened in the first place? What do you mean? There's no reason for Officer Marshall to open his locker at the time of the crime. Yet he did, despite the chance it might be discovered later, as it has been. Which means he didn't originally plan to open his locker. According to the defense's argument, Officer Jake Marshall dressed up as Detective Goodman at the time of the crime, then after the crime was committed, opened his own locker for some unknown reason. The fact that a white cloth is sticking out of the locker seems to indicate that he opened it in order to put the cloth inside. But just what exactly is this piece of cloth? Perhaps the video is the key to our unanswered questions. Very well, let's take another look. Yet another look at the security tape. Just a moment, Your Honor. I'm going to save again. After committing the crime, the witness opened the locker and put away the white cloth. Please show us why the witness put the cloth away. I have 2 theories. Okay. My 2 theories. Shut the fuck up. My 2 theories were, 1, he used a cloth to wipe the blade clean of blood. The other theory was that he got blood on the jacket and the cloth is the jacket. Let's make that assumption. For some reason, you disguised yourself as Detective Goodman and entered the evidence room, though I don't know what to do to what end.
Yeah.
However, something unexpected happened. Officer Meekins barged in on you. When asked to show your ID card, you pulled a knife on him. However, Officer Meekins panicked, and the white coat you were wearing was soiled with blood.
A bloody white coat!
You couldn't just walk out like that. So you hid the coat in your locker.
Not bad, partner. Not bad at all.
Now then, Officer Marshall, are you ready to tell us the whole truth, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Looks like I underestimated y'all.
Hope you're happy now, Edgeworth. I'll fucking cut you.
I hope you're happy now, Edgeworth. 2 years ago, if you was only half as persistent then if you is today, as you is today, we all wouldn't have to be here now, would we?
Officer Marshall, tell the court what you did.
All of it. All right. Seems the time has come. I had to do it that day. I couldn't just stand by and let it die. I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him. I planned to take out the evidence. I wasn't expecting Officer Meekins. I knocked him out and managed to escape. I knew which areas wouldn't be caught on camera. There wasn't no murder in the evidence room at 5:15. No siree.
So the supposed victim was really you?
There's one thing I still don't understand. Traces of a large quantity of blood were found on the floor of the evidence room. If no one was murdered, then how could that be?
Officer Meekins managed to cut his own hand. My guess is he's the donor.
Way too much blood for a small donation, yeah. Alright, Marshall, what do you got? Couldn't let SL9 die? You mean SL9? Is that what you talk about? Talk about SL9?
You even have to ask partner.
I was going to completely end the transferal that day.
Not if I got anything to do with it. That incident ain't over.
What did you hope to accomplish by sneaking into the evidence room?
When a case gets closed, only that case's lead detective can look through the evidence. I wanted to have a look at it myself one last time, no matter the cost. I don't care what anyone says, partner, that case is mine.
You weren't in charge of that. Why do you care so much?
That day was my last chance. That's why I stole the detective's ID and dressed like him.
Okay. Why did you disguise yourself as Goodman?
If I didn't make it look like Goodman was carrying out the evidence transfer, I'd be arrested for stealing evidence, which wouldn't get me nowhere.
So you did it to fool the security camera?
And the detective's ID card.
Stole that the morning of the incident.
That's why Goodman started filling out the paper.
I returned his card, left it on the floor of the prosecutor's office parking lot.
Right. So essentially you managed to succeed despite your lack of foresight.
What do you mean?
I mean the fingerprint-activated lock, of course. No matter how well you disguise yourself, you can't change your fingerprints. Under normal circumstances, you wouldn't have been able to open that locker yourself. But you could because a rubber glove just happened to get stuck in the door. Detective Goodman must have opened the locker before Officer Marshall.
Wasn't expecting me.
So you pulled a knife on Officer Meekins and tried to drive him off.
Let's just say I was a little surprised. I only planned on being in the evidence room for no more than 5 minutes. Didn't think anyone would actually come in during that short time.
Officer Meekins is certainly a 1 in a million type person. Mistaking a detective for an intruder and demanding to show his ID.
I'll have to think a little more about his raise this year. There it is. We're waiting for that line to come out.
Anyway, he threw himself at me and I ended up cutting him slightly. Sorry not to turn out that way with me knocking him out and everything.
By the way, what happened to your knife?
Oh, you mean this one?
So you knocked Officer Meekins out and...
Managed to escape.
Oh, really? So you did your research beforehand?
Those who go into the desert unprepared don't live long, partner. Didn't think it'd make a difference, though, as the security tape is erased every 6 hours. If all had gone as planned, no footage would have been left.
However, you bloodied your coat in the struggle with Officer Meekins.
If someone was in the security room when I came out, the jig would have been up. Opened my locker, snatched in there. Miss Bashful Face! Miss Goddamn Bashful Face, how you doing there? Good to see you. Thank you so goddamn much for that raid. Welcome in.
How you doing, Miss Bashful Face? Thank you so much for bringing your people over. How was your stream? What were you doing? Give us the goss. What were you up to tonight? And everyone from Ms. Bashful Face's stream, welcome to the channel. We're playing some Ace Attorney today. I think we're doing well. We're making breakthroughs, my friends.
Big goddamn breakthroughs.
What was Officer Meekins doing during that time? Was playing this? No shit. How far into it are you?
What else? He was sleeping like a baby.
So what you're saying is, on that day...
There wasn't any murder in the evidence room at 5:15.
Trogo, what's up, mate? How are you? But the blood found at the scene certainly indicates a crime took place.
What are you, blind?
You finished the second game last night. How was it, Chich? On the second case in the second game. This case you're playing now is difficult. Yeah, it's testing me.
The victim shown on that tape is me, and I ain't dead yet.
So you stole the evidence from the locker?
Actually, no, I did not.
Why not?
Well, when I opened the locker, the evidence was already gone.
Mr. Edgeworth, where is that evidence?
It's still missing, Your Honor.
Detective Goodman's locker was already empty. Somebody else stole the evidence. Officer Marshall, may I ask you one thing? The final case is something? Oh, I'm so ready for it. Chich, I've heard the third game is the high point of the series. So... we're gonna see what the fuck happens, but you've got something to look forward to, man.
Fire away, partner. It's a free country. Just remember, I'm also free to decide whether or not to answer.
That would be perjury, I believe. You have to answer questions in court. Hey, thanks for the follow. Welcome in. Why did you do this? Stealing a detective's ID, injuring a police officer? This is no small offense. Moreover, you're an officer yourself. This will have serious consequences. Can't just be forgiven with a simple cut in salary.
Like I said, this ain't your case. This one is mine. And I'll do anything it takes to get an answer I'm satisfied with.
Hey, Alice, how you doing? Welcome in. Oh, the witness has an unusual amount of zeal. Let's hear more.
I just can't forget the SL9 incident. You know why?
Why? So 2 years ago, wasn't it? That's the reason. The evidence was stored in the evidence room. Joe Dark was convicted for his crimes. One thing I can say for sure is that he deserved his sentence. I remember the Joe Dark case. It involved serial murders, didn't it?
I don't intend to complain about how it turned out. There's something that still bothers me. Something went down at that trial. Something no one will talk about.
What happened?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Why is he so concerned with it? Everyone involved here is related in some way to that case. What?
Objection!
Officer Marshall, I think I understand. I think I know why you care so much about the SL9 incident. Ms. Bashfulface, enjoy the lurk. Thank you for the raid. Thank you for bringing your people over. Smooches to you. Really appreciate you bringing everyone over and hanging out with us. Enjoy the lurk. That post-stream food time, I think.
Sound like you've been sipping too much cactus juice, partner.
He's got an unusual amount of drawl.
That's how we roll.
I have the SL9 incident file right here. The name Marshall is mentioned in here. In a list of murder victims. Neil Marshall. Are you related to this man?
Neil Marshall. Yeah. I'm sure you've heard the name. 2 years ago. He received the same lousy prosecutor award you got.
A prosecutor! The King of Prosecutors Award. Now I remember. Prosecutor Neil Marshall. He handled the SL9 case before I did.
That's right. He was killed. And the case fell into your hands.
What's his relation to you?
He was my brother. He was investigating the murders with Damon Garrett, but then DPT, Deputy Chief of Police. The group of detectives I was a part of worked under him. Gabriel, how you doing? We was desperate to prosecute the killer. Took the deep day. Joe Doc. My brother fought Doc and was killed. That was the first time Doc left behind any evidence. It was all we needed. He was arraigned and incarcerated, and the case was finally closed. At least according to public records.
What do you mean?
My brother couldn't have been killed by Joe Doc. I knew my brother better than anyone. No one could have beaten him in a fight.
And that's it. That's your reason for your insane actions.
There's more to my brother's death than what the records say. No matter how much you try to hide it, you can't fool me.
A bonk! Well, at least one thing's for certain. Now we know what happened to the police department on the day of the crime. That was the last day the SL9 case could be reopened. Not satisfied with its resolution, Officer Marshall planned to steal the evidence. Disguising himself as Detective Goodman, he entered the evidence room. Officer Meekins confronted him, and so he rendered him unconscious and fled. Yes, this mystery has finally been cleared up. No murder took place at the police department that day. The things that happened by chance never cease to amaze. At exactly the same time as the murder at the prosecutor's office, this fake murder was going on at the police department. Gotta be more than just chance. Bonk! So if no one was murdered at the police department on the day of the crime, that means the murder in the prosecutor's office was parking lot was the real one. Which in turn means only one person could have committed the crime. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye. But wait! A verdict wasn't reached in yesterday's trial, motherfucker! Which is why we examine the incident at the police department today. There's only one reason the defendant was not convicted yesterday. There yet remained the mystery of the simultaneous murder at the police department.
Seems to me this boy's got the draw on you, partner.
All of the mysteries at the police department have been resolved, no doubt about it. Our sole murder took place at the prosecutor's office. The only suspect is Lana Skye. And the testimony of Miss Angel Starr is completely incontestable. No suit today, Gakaroth. I wasn't feeling it today, man. How are you, Gak? Good to see you. If you have a response, make it a single word or less. Cunt. I rest my case.
Damn! Bonk! It seems this trial has reached its conclusion. There's no room for doubt.
Well done, Mr. Wright. Thanks to you, I didn't need to waste my time disproving the alleged murder at the police department. There's no doubt what I proved today is true. The apparent murder on the security camera's tape was really a fake. But I didn't realize that would end up proving Lana guilty.
Bonk! Now then, the time for the verdict has arrived. This court finds the defendant. Hold it.
Your Honor, wait! Emma, the defense has an objection. A scientific objection. Of course it's a scientific objection. It could just be a regular objection. Right? What do you mean, right?
Mr. Wright, are you this girl's guardian?
Your Honor, sort of. Please, Your Honor, all I'm asking is for a minute of your sciencey time. Please hear me out. Mr. Edgeworth, please, in the name of science. I don't want to leave any loose ends. You want a minute? I'll give you 3. Trey Dog, how you doing? I was kind of in shock. I mean, finding out the SL9 incident referred to the Joe Dark killings. The names of both Sky Sisters were in that file. But that's when I figured it out. I mean, what Officer Marshall was trying to do that day. So I knew his fingerprint had nothing to do with the crime. That left only one thing. The other handprint. You mean the traces of blood found on Detective Gumshoe's locker?
But no fingerprints were found on it, right?
No, but I figured out if I examined it scientifically, I'd be sure to find a clue. So I ran over there and looked at it again. Did you find something? No. Sorry, I guess I'm not much of a scientific investigator after all. Is that it? Please don't be mad, I'm just a high school student. But Mr. Wright, those traces of blood are the only clue we have. If we can't find something wrong with them, please, Mr. Wright, you're a professional. Hang on. Hang on, Emma, you fucking bitch. Alright. Oh boy.
Bonk! Time's up now then, Mr. Wright. With regard to the incident of the police department, just any reasonable doubt remains.
It appears the defense is troubled by the other blood mark. Hang on, spending time in reality. Looking at the floor plans, a handprint was discovered around here. Is there a problem with this? Mr. Wright, I'm sorry I can't be more of use. Yes, the problem with this is that it wasn't on the videotape. I object.
Objection!
Not sure why I object, but I object. This handprint left at the crime scene clearly shows a contradiction. The only thing that seems clear is your grasping, Mr. Wright.
You've been staring pretty intently at those floor plans. Is there a problem with them?
Take a good look at these floor plans. Missing means something hasn't been drawn on here. Something that, when drawn, will completely change the meaning of the blood mark.
Bonk! Let us pray the defense isn't simply trying to buy time.
He's not there. The blue badger's not there. What about that piece of plywood? The blue badger, mascot of the police force, defender of truth, guardian of proof. Explain yourself, Mr. Wright. Please look at the floor plans of the crime scene. The blue badger is not there. So watch what happens when we put him in. This is where he was dancing at the time of the crime.
Well, what?
That's right. So long as the blue badger is dancing here, it would be impossible to place a handprint on this spot on the locker.
What?
Bonk, 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 bonk. So that means just exactly what does that mean?
It means it can't be done.
Blood traces are undeniably found in that locker.
I didn't put it there.
Mr. Wright, think through it scientifically. Emma, on that afternoon, Officer Meekins was the one who brought the blue badger to the evidence room, right? After he put it down, it would be impossible to leave a handprint on that locker.
So that means his blood mark was left there before the blue badger was brought in.
Just one moment! I don't allow such far-fetched bold attach in my courtroom.
It may sound far-fetched, Your Honor, but it's the only possible explanation. On February 21st in the police department's evidence room, blood was spilled not once, but twice. But how? One time was captured on this tape taken by the security camera. Officer Meekins cut his hand from which a trivial amount of blood fell. Ms. Crash, how you doing? Welcome in. Yeah, the judge will allow all sorts of other shit, but not this? Okay. The problem is the other time. Someone bled prior to the struggle shown on this tape. It had to have been Detective Goodman, when he was really murdered. You like that? That's ridiculous. I refuse to accept your absurd claim. Objection! The murder portrayed in the security tape has been proven to be a fake. However, that does not explain the blood mark found on the locker. So then, assuming this murder you purport has really happened, when did it take place? I demand you show evidence that proves when it occurred.
Bonk! The defense claims that prior to Officer Meekins being cut by Jake Marshall, who was posing as Detective Goodman, another incident took place in that evidence room.
The blood mark on this locker proves this. Suspending time and space. Suspending time and space, Your Honor.
Now then, will the defense please present this evidence?
The crime took place here. If the crime took place inside the evidence room, the killer would have had to enter it, and in order to do so, an ID card would have been required.
An ID card! Oh, the ID card report!
Officer Meekins brought the blue badger panel into the evidence room at
4:50 p.m. If the crime took place before that time, then it would be 4:40 p.m. Oh.
Moscow, la 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 la. Miles Edgeworth, what have you done? La 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 la.
Hey, I never figured you'd have the nerve, boy.
Drop the act, witness. It doesn't take a lot of thought to figure out that it couldn't have been me.
Nope, I ain't getting it.
I'm afraid I don't understand either.
It's clear from the luminol test that blood was there. However, when the second crime took place, both Officer Meekins and Officer Marshall failed to notice the blood. That means the blood from the first crime was wiped away by the real murderer. I would have had just 10 minutes to murder the victim, carry his body away, clean up the blood. Unfortunately, that's impossible.
That would mean the crime must have taken place before Mr. Edgeworth entered the science evidence room.
Let's look at this chart again, shall we? There's only one other card number remaining. 777777.
Talk about a lucky number.
But wait, that doesn't make sense. How could Detective Goodman have entered the evidence room?
Since there's no record of his card being used beforehand, he must have entered along with the real murderer. That's the only plausible explanation. He went in with 777777.
Bonk, Mr. Edgeworth! Please look into this ASAP. Find out whose ID number is this 77.
That's 17 too many, Your Honor. Unfortunately, I'm unable to look up the owner of that card. At least at present.
Explain yourself.
Sarah Pieri, how you doing? The ID number 77777777 belongs to someone with a rank of captain or higher. someone who is the so-called executive officer. We don't have the authority to inquire into such a person's identity. But that's ridiculous! I'm not finished talking, Mr. Wright. There's one situation in which we can be granted such authority. If an official charge filed against an executive is accepted. An official charge?
You're all alike, ain't you? With your cover-ups and your forgeries. That's how the prosecutor's office operates.
I take pride in my work, Officer Marshall. I would appreciate it if you would keep your slander to yourself.
Slander, is it? Okay. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
No, not to you. To her. The defendant sitting over there. Your own little executive.
Don't be stupid. She's been charged with murder. Of course we've looked up her ID number and it's not 7777777.
Don't play me for a fool, partner. That's not what I want to ask. All I want to know is one thing. About that incident.
The SR9 incident.
Answer me this, Chief Prosecutor. In that trial 2 years ago, did you really only use legitimate evidence?
Damn. Hitting with the hards. Do you need the witness to repeat his question, Chief Prosecutor? I heard him fine, Mr. Edgeworth.
2 years ago.
I was in charge of the prosecution for the trial. Occasionally, we felt the powerlessness of the law. At least, I did. Lana! I became a prosecutor in order to suppress crime with the law. Before I realized it, we were the ones being suppressed by the law.
Defendant, just what are you saying?
I'll ask you again, Chief Prosecutor. During that trial 2 years ago, did you really present all the evidence in court? Can you look me and our investigator in the eye?
I don't have to, Officer Marshall.
Why won't you answer him?
Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to, in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. But Lana! Even if it involved forging evidence. But Lana! Danger zone! Vanilla Kitty, Elegy, two lovelies joining us at the same time. How you doing?
You see, that's what I'm talking about. No! No! No!
Order! Bulk!
Lana's remarks caused such a stir that chaos in the courtroom could not be quelled. I have to wait until the following day. Holy shit. Holy shit! This is the case that doesn't end. It just goes on and on, my friends. Some people started playing it, not knowing what it was. They'll continue playing it forever just because this is the case that doesn't end. It just goes on and on, my friends. Some people started playing it, not knowing what it was. They'll continue playing it forever just because this is the case that doesn't. Holy shit. How much longer is it? My god. LG, how you doing? And Vanilla Kitty, how you doing? Good to see you. How much longer is it? Have we got much longer? Like, is this the kind of thing I can finish within the next, like, half hour, 45 minutes? Or is this going to be another day's worth of game? No? Really? Wow. Wow. It just keeps going. I'm finishing it today? Yeah.
Fucking hell, man. I thought we were gonna do it.
Oh, my lord.
You have another day of this? Goddamn. I said good goddamn.
This is the longest case out of all Ace Attorney games, really.
Holy good goddamn. It just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. The patient is just testing me. Good goddamn.
No, the girth. I mean, the reason that this feels so long, I think, is the constant, like, stop. Stop. You know what I mean? It keeps stopping what we're doing. It's just, oh my god. I mean, it's cool. It's now that we've got some understanding, it's picking up a little bit for me again. It's designed to be 2 to 3 cases long. Right, okay. The case is interesting. It's just, it keeps, like, dragging through mud. And then it picks up a little bit and then drags through mud. Now that we're on a pickup point, I'm like, whoa! Fuck yeah! No worries, Cyclone. We'll see you soon. All good. Thanks for hanging out with us. But I mean, day 3 is all good. So now we've got more investigation to do, and then a 4th day in court, and then probably another day of investigation, and then another day in court, and then even more days in court. Holy hell! How many days is it? 5 days? I mean, so we've got some. There's no more investigation. It's just case stuff. Cases have to resolve in 3 days. True. So that means the rest of the day is... Well, hang on, no, because it says day 3 investigation, and I've just saved over the case. So we're in day 3, and it's... We just finished our day in court on day 3. Yeah, my god, the whole bit with, Angel, that dragged so much, especially because she was such a shit character. Marshall is interesting, at least. He's got some motive behind what he's doing. He's, you know, he was untrustworthy, but, you know, kind of trustworthy. Like, he's a good guy, but maybe he did something wrong. What's going on with Lana? Why did she say she did it? Did she do it? Did she not do it? What the fuck's going on? My lord, it's all happening. Angel Star is the most forgettable. Yeah, I just... Well, you gave Marshall a Texas drawl.
Yeah, I gave him the Arthur Morgan, because it's the most consistent... It's the most consistent one I can do. I can just keep going on with it. Thanks to 3 months of Red Dead Redemption, it's probably the most consistent I can keep a voice going.
Outside of the judge! Bah! Bonk, 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 binkity bonk, bonk, binkity bonk. Made him slightly Hispanic. I would offend everyone if I ever attempted to make anyone slightly Hispanic. Bonk, 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 bonk. Fuck you! Well, shit, man. I genuinely thought we were finishing this today. I genuinely thought we were done with this. I thought we'll get through this. When will the Spaniard round? Yeah. Holy hell! I genuinely thought we were done with this. We're gonna be done with this. That's okay. 1 more day. I could go for another hour, but I tell you what, I'm fucking tired. I am fucking tired. Lady K, how you doing? Good to see you. I am tired as fuck, so I reckon we might call it there, and finish this up. Try and finish this up tomorrow. Because what's tomorrow? Tomorrow is Thursday. So I reckon I'll go and get some rest, and we spend 1 more day on this bad boy.
Get her done.
And cover all the secrets. So I think that's what we're going to call it. We've saved. We're good. We're good to go. Und. I think we go and send a little cheeky host off. But today was really fun. I mean, like, I'm glad I streamed. I almost didn't stream. We almost took the day off. Like, we were so close to taking the day off, but we didn't. We're here. We made good progress, and now we've got a bit more of a thing to establish us for the rest of the thing. So, thank you so goddamn much. I slept in. What do you mean you slept in? Gotta go upload no relation. You. Oh fuck! Run! Run, Elegy! Run! What are you doing? Just kidding. Oh, you're a dick. You're a dick. Motherfucker. Guys, I love you all so very much. And here's some fuck. Intro off. Stop. There's something a little bit exciting that I'm pretty pumped about. My housemate, Drift Howler, he's just started his first ever stream on Twitch. He's literally like half an hour ago, I think, started his first ever stream on Twitch. He was all nervous about it. He's like, oh no, I don't know what to do. You know, oh, I've got to make sure everything works and everything's going to be good. It's his first ever stream. So I say we go in there and we make it one to remember. We go and say hi to Drifty. My internet didn't explode. I use my mobile internet. He's using the house internet. It all worked out very well. So we're going to go say hi to Drift Howler. I'm being quiet just in case he doesn't. I don't want him to hear me. I don't want him to know that we're coming. So let's go and send some love over to Drift Howler. Again, be nice. Be gentle. He's using the house internet, which is terrible. And it's his first ever stream. So we may panic a little bit. I think he's already panicking. But I think he's going to be a great broadcaster. So let's go and share some love. But you know what you should all do? I don't normally raid, but if we're going to raid, everyone just do bonks in chat. Bonk, 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 bonk. Bonk, bonk, it's a raid. Bonk, bonk. So that's where we're going to go, my friends. But thank you so goddamn much for your company. Thank you for making this another